It's too brown. Too curly? I feel like I'm in the Olympics. Rocket Man! My name is Justin, and I'm in a band called Recycle Percussion. We started 20 years ago in the state of New Hampshire, and now have our own headline show in Las Vegas, where we perform over 600 shows a year. And that's just where the chaos begins, because in the house behind me lives a rock band, my family, the most beautiful daughters in the world, 2 dogs, where's the other one? 2 fish, 2 fish? 1 fish, and endless chaos. But above all, we love to give back and make a difference. So welcome to our world of chaos and kindness. Previously on Chaos and Kindness, we set out to set a world record of performing 25 countries in just 7 days with one goal in mind, to help as many kids and families as we can on Christmas Day. So what's our mileage?
The limited mileage, so yeah, it doesn't matter how much.
Now they can't stop us. This epic trip does not come without its challenges. But we have to go. I'm telling you, we're at 16-hour drive now if we don't hurry up and go. Large countries, dangerous places. There's a lot of cops around here, so we're gonna see if we can just bring one drum and perform over here. In order to achieve our goal, we would have to sleep in our car and cross some very treacherous borders. It seemed each border required paperwork that we didn't have.
No, you have to return.
We were already behind schedule and had lost several countries. One border denying us could change the trip and forfeit our attempt at a world record. If we can't get into the Bulgarian border, mission is a failure. At this point, we have reached the Bulgarian border. The way the borders of the countries that would not allow us in were shaped, we knew that if we didn't get in, we'd be boxed in, and we for sure would have to end the trip.
We don't. We've been asked this before.
Yeah, you have a problem, I don't know.
So join us now in the second half of performing 25 countries in 7 days.
Where exactly is the identification number of the car?
It's right here. The Bulgarian border was doing what we had seen at previous borders, writing down some kind of identification.
Yes.
I'm doing you not a big favor, a huge favor for doing this. In the rest of the states, from Bulgaria, Germany, Austria, you can go without problems. It's no problem. But this is border control, so you must have original or at least a copy which I can write. I can say all the information.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. Go in front, second time.
Thank you.
You know it's information, yeah?
Yep.
Appreciate it.
We did it. We finally made it into Bulgaria. And if we hadn't, the trip would have for sure been over. But we were extremely tired, so we pulled over on the side of the road, slept inside the vehicle, or as much sleep as you can get in a vehicle, so that we could get up really early and perform in Bulgaria. Welcome to the mountain ranges of Bulgaria. It's early morning, day 4, and it's time to rock. Viewers at home may or may not have a different interpretation of Europe. Western Europe is very civilized, it's a great place and known for its vacations and its destinations. As you get more to the east, things get a little more corrupt, a little bit more dangerous, so you have to really know what you're doing. But we had determination to get out of the area as fast as we could, so we pushed on, heading south towards Greece. Welcome to Greece. Now, you've seen the postcards where it's super sunny, everyone's eating food and loving life. But the reality is, it's snowing in Greece, but we're here. And look how beautiful this is. And way in the distance, there's an entire village right there that are about to listen to us perform. So, 25 countries in 7 days? Greece style. Here we go, next border. So we're approaching the Albania border. I'm done guessing who lets us in and who doesn't let us in. Depends how good at talking Ryan is. We're at the border of Macedonia. This country requires a special kind of insurance. One mile away from the Montenegro border. I'm not sure what to expect here either. So, fingers crossed. It's late. We won't want any more setbacks.
You see the passport?
To this point, on this day, we were getting very lucky. But we had to remember, at any point, at any border, things could go the opposite directions.
Full ship, more. Full ship.
What's that?
Full ship. Hey, full ship, more.
Here.
Dude.
Zoom. We're a music group. We have a show in Croatia. Okay, we can't be late.
He's calling you forward.
I don't know.
He's calling you forward.
Says.
Okay. He's calling you forward, Ryan.
Can we pull forward?
He wants you to leave. No, he wants you to leave. Yeah, he wants you to leave, dude. Trust me. He's over it. All right. So there goes that idea. He wants you, Ryan. He wants you to leave. Wait, Ryan, what are you doing? Listen to me. We were denied access. The only hope we had left was the guard had mentioned that we could try a different border an hour away. One, we may get lost, and number two, if they couldn't get through the border there, then for sure we would have to turn back. And that's if they let you, but that's an hour this way, and then an hour we were here. It's gonna cost us 2.5 hours tops. If we can't get through, the trip's over. No exaggeration. There's no other way to get where we're going. You have to get through Montenegro. They're gonna ask the same thing. They're gonna say documents. There is no documents. Just go. On our drive, I happened to get a phone call from my assistant, and she was telling me that she had been on the phone with the international rental car director. And he was mentioning that nobody gets rental cars this far. In fact, in his 18 years, he had never seen anybody even cross the Bulgarian border. He also wanted to let us know that these areas off the beaten path are riddled with landmines, corrupt cops, and other dangers. So hearing this and being overtired and far from home, our blood pressure was rising. It ain't gonna matter because we can't get past this country. We're done. So it doesn't matter. Hey man, how are you? Greece, Albania, we did Macedonia, and now we're here. And we're gonna go to here tonight. 5 days. All this in 5 days. We showed them our passports and all the permissions we had received from other borders, and we couldn't understand why if we can go through these other borders, we couldn't go into theirs. That's everything. We had They were not buying our story, and it looked like we were not going to get through. Our car was searched, they went inside and through everything within it. But little did we know, we were about to experience one of the most frightening moments of our lives. No, dude. Welcome back to Chaos and Kindness. Right now, we are stuck at the Montenegro border, and it's our last hope to continue performing 25 countries in 7 days. And our fate lies in the hands of Border Patrol. We'll never get to Bosnia. This is the one, though. This is the make or breaker deal. Hallelujah. One of the best sounds of the entire trip was hearing that passport get stamped. Once through the border, it was now on to one of the most terrifying roads we'd ever driven. Is that right on there? Is it working?
Yeah, it's barely.
This is how you get to Croatia.
Yes.
Dude.
We immediately after crossing the border, were taken on this weird one-lane back road.
How long is this road?
I don't know.
3.2 miles, and then we turn left.
Dude, I'm telling you, if somebody pops out right now, there's nowhere to go. If there's somebody waiting right here to mug you, there's nowhere to go.
I mean, it was exactly the size of our van, and that was it. There was no room for a car to come in, for another car to come out. So once we're in this road, you can't go back.
If anybody wanted to block us in, rob us, take our money, or worse, this would be the ideal condition for that. I swear to God, she said to me on the phone, I swear on Blake's life, she said, she goes, and the people pretend to be other people, and those kind of like officers. So it's all.
Why is it don't take it in the first place?
There's no other option, dude. The other road is a road to this road.
No, the other road meets
It could
up.
be just as small as this road.
It went from being, let's get through all these countries as fast as possible, to just don't die. Which you die.
Literally no cell phone service. First time whole trip, like zero. So for miles and miles, we were driving on this road. I kept thinking to myself, if somebody pops out of the woods, we have nowhere to go.
And as we're driving, just as we're discussing all these possibilities, the worst case scenario thing happened.
Oh no, dude. Dude, this is a shakedown, man. Just as we thought, we saw a police officer jump out of the bushes. This is not someone who just pulled us over. He jumped out of the bushes and flagged us over. Now you have to understand that in these regions, It's not unorthodox for someone to portray a police officer to pull them over in hopes to mug them or worse. What's that?
From Albania? Yes.
Yes, going to
from Albania.
going to Croatia. He asked for our passports. We're in the middle of the woods on a golf cart-sized road, so you have to understand the nervousness that I was feeling. I think we all had our doubts. We weren't sure if this was a real cop or not. Things didn't look right. Things didn't feel right.
Washington, Chicago, California.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Oh,
music.
casino, huh?
Famous music group.
Yeah, look at all, huh?
People looking for us. So I went on to tell him that we were a famous band in America, and that if something happened, people would for sure be looking for us. Maybe it was my ignorance, but I had to say something. Are we going to here? So this way? Okay.
Bravo, somebody.
Thank you. Okay.
Uzi onda.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. For one reason or another, this gentleman allowed us to leave. But for the next hour, it was silent in that car. A sense of urgency that we find a more safe place, a more safe route, and that was critical for us to continue this journey. It took a lot of effort, but we're finally through the border of Montenegro, and it was worth it because look at this view. We just had to play here because it felt right.
And from then on out, the trip took a complete 180.
Waking up, we had a new sense of excitement because we knew that the more difficult borders and dangerous countries were now behind us, and we could set sail for the final days on some of the most beautiful and safest places to be in Europe. If you've ever watched Game of Thrones, then you know what this is. King's Landing in Croatia. Now that we're out and moving, it was smooth sailing. We were away from the Eastern Bloc, and we could continue the journey. But given all the border denials and all the stress, we were behind schedule. Coming up on Chaos and Kindness, no gas. We have no idea if there's a gas station. I'm trying to figure it out, but we have no service. There's nothing around here. The trip has changed. A huge difference than the eastern side of Europe. This was the Europe that everyone talks about. The mountains of Switzerland. We're passing castles, mountaintops, the roadside vineyards of Italy. We ate pizza and performed for some of the locals. In the beautiful city of Monte Carlo, one of the richest places in the world, beauty all around. This is what we've been waiting for, and we were so happy to see it. Unfortunately though, we were still behind schedule, and with only one day to go, we still had 5 countries to hit.
When we first woke up, we had about 100 miles to go on this highway, which would have been great. But instead, the second we get on the highway, there's a highway detour. So now I'm trying to navigate us through these back roads. And we're gonna lose a lot of time. And we don't really have time to lose time today. So let's hope we get back on the highway soon. On my phone, the most important app has become Google Translate. Because every time we go to a new country, we have to talk to different people. We have to talk to them in different languages, and we don't speak any other languages than English.
If you love waffles as much as I do, then you would love to go to Belgium. Welcome to Luxembourg, the 24th country in just under 7 days. I have 24 countries down with only 1 to go. The fog's rolled in, and more importantly, we have no gas. We have no idea if there's a gas station. I'm trying to figure it out, but we have no service. There's nothing around here. We were obviously too excited because we forgot to look at the gas tank. This entire trip, there's been gas stations every 10 miles. But for some reason, we hadn't seen one in a long time. And I'm not kidding when I say we were about to run out of gas in the middle of nowhere. We missed the exit the first time. This is not good. It was also 1:30 in the morning. So there's a high chance that the gas station we did find wouldn't even be open.
right.
I don't know if this is a gas station or not. It doesn't say. It just says Comfort Energy. But it's back towards where we need to go anyways.
The destination is on your right. Roy Demarcher Couvert 14.
Well, it's closed though.
I don't know.
There's gotta be. Lights are on. Really? See the car right there?
You get diesel.
Credit card machine now. The lights were on, but the gas station was closed. And in Europe, many of these gas stations do not have credit card self-serving machines. Is there a credit card machine? There's gotta be. This is. Try putting gas in real quick. Just get out and try putting it in. It's gonna work. No. Dude, there's nothing. Dude, there's nothing. You're the only one.
This was not good.
I don't know what to do. How much gas do we really have?
You're on the white line.
Yeah, it's not gonna get from 10 miles. The final option we could find was 2 miles away. However, this van could shut off at any moment in time, and we knew this was the last chance for gas. There's gotta be a credit card machine for hours.
And the last option looked like it was closed.
Only cards. There you go. Does that say? I saw out of the corner of my eye a sign that read, credit cards accepted. It could be on a different wall, it could be on a brass, it could be on one of these pillars.
I didn't see something like that. Where did you see that? Around the other side?
We were frantically looking for a card reader. We were out of time. I don't know if this is what this is.
It was a card reader, but the pumps might not even be on.
You sure? Dude, that was close. Oh, that was close. The gas gods were looking down upon us, and for some way, reason, shape, or form, blah, 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 we found some fuel, and we were on our way again. We could not be stopped. 25 countries in 7 days is the most insane thing ever. But it ends right here, right now, at 3:03 a.m., December 17th. We had a vision. We conquered it because we are about to play the Netherlands. When we thought about setting a world record for performing 25 countries in just 7 days, we had no idea how hard this would be. Being not a domestic area, in a place that we were not comfortable with, a place that we did not know where we were, we had our work cut out for us. Unlike the highways of America that we're used to, every road was different, each country had their own laws, and each border had its own trials and tribulations. This trip tested our ability to overcome obstacles unlike anything I've ever experienced. With little sleep and a can-do attitude, we were able to complete 163 hours of driving in 168 possible hours. Wait, is that a lot of miles? 8,000 kilometers?
We're in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
We went to see some sights. Nothing serious. Only leaving our vehicle for 5 hours in order to set this world record. But with an army of fans supporting us back in America, we knew we couldn't let them down because we wanted to make a difference in the lives of many come Christmas. Once we returned home from performing 25 countries in 7 days, the goal was to help thousands of kids on Christmas. We grab all these bikes all the way around. We'll scrub all that whole row. And lo and behold, with all the donations from amazing fans from around the world and donations from toys from people around the world, we pulled it off. All that work, all that effort came together, and it was worth every moment. It's crazy, you know, everybody all around the state of New Hampshire came together to make this happen. We call it the Recycle Percussion Toy Drive, but this is a very prideful, this is the Granite State Toy Drive. Everyone from Toys for Tots down to the little guy donated, made a difference, and now we can help thousands of kids on Christmas. You have to assume that there are gifts in this pile that came from people who are barely making ends meet themselves. Some people might not have a Christmas without us. Most importantly, I want to thank you, the individuals who donated their money, their hard-earned money, and their time and effort to get toys to our toy drive. Each and every year we have a goal to inspire people, but we also want to give you the opportunity to have a voice. And when you donate your money and your time and your effort, that is your voice. That shows that you care just as much as we do. You don't have to travel to 25 countries in 7 days to let the world know that you care. You can do it from the comfort of your living room. Let us be the crazy ones, but we need you every time we do something to help make that difference. And because of you stepping up and following us and supporting us, we help thousands of kids and families this holiday season. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And remember, in a world full of chaos, and on this trip, there was more than we bargained for, it's always important that me, you, and everyone else continues to show their kindness. Thank you.